Nintendo was never one to shy away from putting Mario and the other Mushroom Kingdom characters in settings outside of the normal 2D side-scrolling platformer that made them famous. By 1992, he'd already saved the princess a handful of times, was a boxing referee, and moonlighted as a doctor. But by taking advantage of the newer Mode 7 technology present in the Super Nintendo, Miyamoto decided to take 8 characters, put them in go-karts, put them on racetracks based on locations from Super Mario World, and it became a runaway success. And it became the third best-selling Super Nintendo game in its history. 8 games and scores of broken friendships later, Mario Kart has become one of Nintendo's greatest franchises and shows no signs of slowing down. It's all Mario Kart as it turns 25 this year. Next on Downloadable Content. Hello and welcome everyone to Downloadable Content. I'm Brian and with me we have Ron.
Hi everyone.
And we have Nick.
Vroom vroom!
And away he goes. He's not even, he's taken off right off the bat.
200cc engine, bitches!
Whee! But yes, Mario Kart turns 25 years old this year. God, I feel old. But before we dive into all Mario Kart all the time, just want to remind everyone every single episode of Downloadable Content can be found on our website, dlcpodcast.com. You can either download the episode directly there, or there are links to the episodes on iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, and now Google Play Music. It's all there. Check out upcoming recordings. If you want to be on an episode, use the feedback to tell us how we're doing or give us ideas about future episodes. All there, dlcpodcast.com. But yes, it is an anniversary episode, another trip down the well of nostalgia. Mario Kart, 25 years old, coming out in 1992 on the Super Nintendo. And it was back during a time when it seemed that everything Nintendo touched turned to gold. Mentioning in the intro that, by this time Mario had been put out of his element, out of the realm of the side-scrolling platformer, moonlighting as a boxing referee in Punch-Out and being a doctor. But now Miyamoto was like, why don't we put him on a racetrack? See what happens. Trying to because at that time, I think the only sort of racing property that Nintendo had was F-Zero.
There might have been like a NASCAR or something, but I doubt it.
I mean, there might have been like those, NES off-road rally games. I don't know who exactly designed those, but most anything that was made, I mean, probably the most popular title off the NES was Pole Position, but that was Namco, so...
Yes, I think for first-party Nintendo racing titles, I think F-Zero might have been it. Up to this point. But, 1992, that would have made me all of 7 years old.
You and me both.
And, coming out in Japan in August... Coming out in the USA just a short time later in September. And, we look at it now. We look at it now compared to the current Mario Kart games, and we look at Super Mario Kart and we go, holy shit!
Because we thought this was fun?
And it still is. I mean, all right. If I'm going to tell you guys a little story here. If you guys listen to the PAX episode, the last episode, then, feel free to skip the next few minutes.
No, go ahead, man.
Whenever I go to PAX, I always try to participate in, one or two of the console free play tournaments, knowing full well that I will probably get my ass handed to me. So I've stopped competing in any console tournament that involves a fighting game.
Yeah, so good luck
Well,
with that.
no, that's a pretty smart decision, Brian.
Yeah, for personal experience, if you go and compete in those, like, you're gonna fight people that know the system probably a lot more than you.
Than you will ever know.
That I will ever know. And so I'm looking through the PAX schedule and I'm like, all right, let's see. Super Smash, no. Street Fighter, no. Mortal Kombat, no. But they were doing a Super Mario Kart tournament. And I went, there are no blue shells in this game. I might actually have a chance. So I signed up, and it's the way it was set up. It was a 32-player tournament, one-on-one in the battle mode. So we weren't doing the Grand Prix, we were doing the battle mode, which, for those of you who've never played, it's you and one other player, and there are 3 rotating balloons surrounding your cart. And the object is to basically hit the other player 3 times. First one to lose their balloons loses the match. And that's really it. Very simple, easy, tells the story. But in the original Mario Kart, you didn't have, 3 red shells or 3 green shells. You had 1 green shell or 1 red shell. And it was, you play on a special designated level and you go from there. So I sign up thinking that, all right, 32 people, I'll be happy if I get out of the first round. I don't set very high expectations for myself in these tournaments.
You game about an eighth less than I do, so...
Yeah, and there's no monetary prizes for these tournaments. They're not like the big, huge tournaments that go on in the PAX arena for actual dollars. The only prizes you get for the console free play are bragging rights, and actually, first and second place do get medals. There's a gold medal and a silver medal. So, my first opponent was a literal child.
Oh,
do you feel bad now?
Well, he's telling me that he's never played the original Mario Kart before. He's used to current Mario Kart. And so this game came out before he was even theoretical. So I said, I'm like, this is the original game, so there's no such thing as blue shells or bullet bills or anything like that. But in the back of my head, I'm going, God have mercy for what I'm about to do to you.
Oh, jeez.
But
that sounds about right.
But also a tiny sliver of doubt was in there, because also, at the same time I'm thinking that, I'm also going, what if this is one of those children who school the crap out of me in DDR? Who,
the savants.
Yeah, the fetuses who get up on the dance pad next to me and put it on heavy mode, reverse arrow, triple speed, and they're just...
And then you just sit there and go, what have I gotten myself into?
But luckily the former happened, and in about 2 minutes I made it to round 2. So I'm like, all right, second round. Now I'm down to the 16. All right, pretty good. I don't think I'm getting much further than this.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly I'm in round 3. All right, okay, now I'm in the quarterfinals. Ooh, all right, I might have a shot at this. And then I'm in the semifinals. And I'm like, oh God.
What is happening? What shouldn't be happening.
What's happening? I'm down to the last 4. And my semi-final match was actually the match of the tournament, because now now the people who have been eliminated are watching this. And it was a best 2 out of 3 in the battle mode. So, and this match took 20 minutes because we're both trying to stealth the other one out.
Jesus.
Because, red shells in this game are not the red shells in the current games where they will fucking home in on you.
Yeah, the red shells in the original were almost like the blue shells of the current games. You could not shake those mothers if your life depended on it.
But the thing in the original game, though, was that racetrack walls could also be your friend because we didn't have precision like we do in the current games, where red shells can actually still go around a wall to hunt you down. So if you manage to turn just in time, the red shell could hit a wall and, you're safe.
Bounce off.
Also, in the original game, you couldn't hold an item behind you to deflect the blow.
Right.
So,
although I did learn you can drop stuff behind you.
Yes, you can drop stuff behind you, but you can't keep it there. So we're trying to stealth each other out for 20 minutes, and then I'm in the final. And I'm going, holy shit, I am going to get a medal. Whether I win or come in second, I am walking out of this thing with a medal. And the final battle was between myself and somebody else who's about my age. So...
kind of glasses, curly hair?
No, he was actually starting to bald a little bit. So...
middle-aged-dom.
So, it actually went the full 3 rounds, but I lost. I came in second. I couldn't even be mad. I could not even be mad. This had never happened before in the 6 years I've been going to PAX. So I walked out of there with a silver medal. That was probably one of my biggest highlights.
Well, congratulations on at least making yourself all the way there. I know they have a wide variety of the games there, but hearing Super Mario Kart and hearing the original battle mode is because the original battle mode was the best.
Oh,
the absolute best.
I still love it. So that is my story with that. But back to the actual game. Back to the actual game. This game was just a complete runaway success, and for good reason. I mean, I'm sure many of us have wasted hundreds of hours with friends and siblings playing this.
Actually, for at least for myself, my racing partner would be my mother. We actually, for the 150cc, because of how difficult it was back in the day, we teamed up to make sure that we, if one of us would get first place, so we could unlock the next area to get the special cup, because fuck Rainbow Road.
Yes. The tried and true fuck Rainbow Road.
That's basically the theme for all the Mario Kart games is fuck Rainbow Road, but fuck the first Rainbow Road in particular.
Because how difficult it was. No barriers, tight corners, invincible thwomps.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, just to troll you. And, a common frustration that I'm sure all of us had as children, whenever we couldn't get past a certain thing, we'd always, scream and cry, "The game's cheating!" When in fact we weren't good enough. But this was one of those games that legitimately cheats, because the computer players have items that you will never have. Like Yoshi being able to throw eggs whenever the fuck he wants. You never have that ability playing as Yoshi. Mario and Luigi. Mario and Luigi being able to flick on star power whenever the hell they wanted, just...
Let's see. Donkey Kong had banana peels, Koopa Troopa had shells, Bowser had those moving fireballs, fuck those. Peach and Toad had those damn shrinking mushrooms!
Yep. And
which is why I never played, one of the characters, I think it was Toad, because I liked the Koopa Troopa and Toad characters because they couldn't spin out on sharp corners. But if you played as Toad, Princess Toadstool, or Princess Peach, was the person in front, and you would be pelted with tiny mushrooms all circuit long. I eventually learned to play with Koopa Troopa because then the person up front was Luigi, and as long as you stay ahead of him, you'll never deal with his Starman.
Right. And that was the thing. We had we weren't smart. The technology wasn't smart enough to randomize your opponents. So whenever you played as a certain character, you always knew the lineup.
Yep.
They were pre-programmed in. So if you were smart enough at 7 to figure that out, well done. I always played as either Luigi or Yoshi. Because even then, while it wasn't as customizable and anything like that now, there were still differences between the lighter characters and the heavier characters. You can tell the differences in acceleration and top speeds. They were there.
Yeah, Mario and Luigi were average kart drivers. Toadstool and Yoshi were the fast acceleration. DK and Bowser were the fast top speed. And Koopa Troopa and Toad were the good cornering and handling.
Right. I mean, you didn't see that information on screen, but it was very, very...
It was in the instruction book. Back at the time, we still had instruction books.
Who reads instruction books?
Who reads them? I'm like...
Apparently I do!
I mean, I know, I agree with you. I read them too, but it was still funny to just be like... Just play up that story and some more.
Yeah, just like, who reads it? I certainly didn't. But anyway, but and also, you mentioned that because there were coins on the tracks, and those were vital, especially on the harder difficulties, because the more you got, you would build, because you had lives in this game.
Yeah.
If you failed to get 4th place or better, you'd lose a life and have to retry the stage. And you could actually game over. Unlike now, where you just get, a piddling, point or two for coming in the lower ranks. This one, it was actually like, no, if you get in anything worse than 4th, you lost a life, and you had to do it again. So getting those coins were very important.
Yep.
And, we didn't have the... And just the racetrack hazards like the oil slick and the moles. The moles were the absolute worst.
I always thought whenever they attached you that they kept saying earring over and over.
Okay, I can see that. But I'm just like, no, get off me! And sometimes it's like I would deliberately drive into the water or something. Like, no,
yeah.
I'll eat the 2 coins. Get off me!
Yeah, it was what? Mash the L and R buttons to shake them off?
Yeah.
I believe that was...
Yeah. And also, the AI still managed to try to screw with you because, if you knew who was pre-programmed to be in 2nd or 3rd on your tail for the race, like, if you dropped a green shell behind you and you knocked them back into 7th or 8th, you would see on the bottom of the screen, they would just fly through the rest of the field.
Yeah.
And be right
Rubber
back on
band AI for the win.
Yep. I'm like, wait a minute. You are achieving top speed that I could never hope to get to. You fucking...
He's going over 88 miles an hour.
And the power up to have, I mean, we didn't have blue shells, so the lightning bolt was the thing.
Yep.
Yep, lightning bolt was probably the most overpowered item in the original.
Yes.
But we also had the feather and the boo. The boo was very helpful.
Yes, that's right. Because
it stole an item at random.
Yes. Most of the time, if another character had an item, if nobody had anything, you just turned invisible. And even that could be used to your benefit, because it's like, oh, here comes a red shell. Ghost! And it just passes through you into the next. And so, many, many hours of that. But yeah, Rainbow Road I eventually mastered. But whew, that's rough. That is rough.
Yeah.
But moving on, because
we thought the original was good.
Because the original was Mario Kart 64 coming out 4 years later.
And the sequel was better.
This is my favorite of the Mario Kart games. Still, even with current ones, this Mario Kart 64 is my absolute favorite. We still have your 8 characters, and just the levels were amazing. Blue shells did come into the game at this point, but they weren't a crime.
Because they were fairly rare, if memory serves. You had to be literally last place to even have a chance of having one, spawn for you.
Yeah, they were. You had to hang back in the, the back quarter of the pack. They were still a relatively rare drop, but not only did they hit first place, they hit every place on the way. So everyone suffered.
Okay, yeah, I can't remember exactly how I did it. I just remember it being fairly fair.
It wasn't just let's target first place. If you were in last, you could use a blue shell. It would go right up the line, and hit everybody. And we've got true socialism here with the blue shell. And in a typical race in Mario Kart 64, you are much more likely to get hit with lightning bolts left, right, and center than you were blue shells.
Yeah.
Yeah, lightning was still the bane of your existence, especially when you were on the higher difficulties. But this one was the first, at this point, to have not only the standard 50, 100, 150cc, just like the original, but it also had the extra mode, eventually known as mirror mode.
Mirror mode, yes.
Because, the game wasn't hard enough as is.
Mm-hmm.
2 things.
Gotta ramp it up.
2 things. Mirror mode, doing Toad's Turnpike on mirror mode.
Oncoming traffic.
Doesn't sound fun.
Yes, it's practice for driving on the New York State Thruway, but it's... Woo! You want to talk reflexes. Holy shit! Because it's one thing to be racing with the traffic. Now it's like, oh good! I'm going to have 3 laps of this.
Yeah.
3 laps of oncoming highway traffic. Enjoy!
Yeah, your reflexes gotta be spot on.
But, if you had the star, you could actually just drive through them.
Yes, you could, but again, that would force you to actually not be in first place.
Yeah, collision detection.
Unfortunately, my driving was good enough that I was constantly at the head of the pack, so I didn't have that luxury.
Yeah, and I'm sure everyone's done this and continues to do this because, you want to talk about ruining friendships. How many people would have a nicely well-timed lightning bolt on Wario Stadium?
Oh, you're a dick. With the few times that I played Mario Kart 64, now I did not have an N64 growing up, so and very few friends had game systems in my neighborhood. So the few times I actually got to play Mario Kart 64 was actually in its battle mode.
Okay.
So I did not play Mario Kart 64 till I believe college. I think someone had a 64 and we played it in college.
The battle modes, still the same thing. You have 3 balloons, knock yourself out. But also
some of the courses there, I think Battle Block Plaza still is probably the gold standard when it comes to what a battle arena should be.
Yeah. And now you want to talk about the difficulty of the Rainbow Road in the Super Nintendo original. This Rainbow Road, suddenly there are barriers. So this actually was, the Rainbow Road for N64 was the longest racetrack in the game. Because the laps were so long. You were talking 2 to 3 minutes per lap.
Yeah, it no joke, took you 6 minutes to finish the course.
And, and that's the type of board where if you get a lead, you're probably holding on to it.
Unless you get chain chopped up the ass.
Yes. Yeah, it was Nintendo was like, all right, we'll throw you a bone with the barriers, but we're just gonna put shit on the board.
You gotta deal with it.
You're just gonna sprinkle shit all over the board and have fun. No, I think my the board that I like the least, 2 of them, Yoshi Valley.
No, I learned to appreciate Yoshi Valley, even if you didn't know who was in first place at the time.
Yeah, Yoshi Valley was. I know where the shortcuts are and how to quickly navigate that. But when I was first learning how to play that game, I'm like, wait a minute. We're anonymous here. We have no idea what place we're in.
Because the game couldn't figure it out. The process, we weren't that advanced at the time. Because even the game was on a fifth of scotch going, I don't fucking know what's going on.
And Banshee Boardwalk. I really hated that board. Because,
okay, I'm with you on that one.
Because, alright, we put the barriers on Rainbow Road, but there were none on this one.
Yeah, Banshee Boardwalk can go. That just... hated that course, especially when it came back in later Mario Karts.
Because, let's do these very, very tight turns at speed, angled turns, good luck. Oh yeah, and also, by the way, we're gonna muck up your screen with booze, so, enjoy.
Good luck, have fun!
Yeah, that does not sound like fun to me.
Of course, the soundtrack for Mario Kart 64 was absolutely nuts. So good, so thematic. Between the Luigi Raceway to Choco Mountain, Rainbow Road had good music. Everything was just very pleasant to listen to drive to, with the exception of Banshee Boardwalk.
Yeah.
More reason to hate that course.
Yeah, I mean, the soundtrack, Nintendo actually put out an album for Mario Kart 64. They actually did put out a purchasable soundtrack for that. Good luck finding it.
Oh yeah, not anymore. Rare collector's item.
Thank you, BitTorrent.
Insert legal bullshit here.
Yeah, disclaimer, downloadable content does not condone bullshit. Okay. My favorite track music for Mario Kart 64 was the credits. I'm like...
Interesting.
It sounds... It sounds like it shouldn't belong, because it sounds like the type of music you hear when you are an epic hero that just completed your journey.
To be fair, after playing that game, if you tried doing it in one giant sitting, I'm sure you would want to have some sort of vindication at the end.
Especially after you get through 150cc mirror.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But this was another type of game that, you know, we still had the different weight classes. We had different ways of trying to go about a level, like, and yeah, you had more board hazards, like Donkey Kong's level, like driving off-road, you would get pelted with whatever those spiked coconut things were. Like, hey, what are you doing? And, you know,
kicking you while you're down, apparently.
Apparently. Also, you could drift in Mario Kart 64.
Well, you could drift in the first game, too. It's just this one you could actually get mini turbo off of it.
That's what I mean. Like, okay, you can drift in the original, but now there's a benefit to actually being able to drift around a corner. So,
and that would be a staple in all Mario Kart's sets.
Yes. Including the next one, which was the first one out for handhelds, Mario Kart Super Circuit. On the Game Boy Advance, coming out in 2001. Again, still keeping with the same sort of setup. You still had, your 8 characters. And being that this was the first one for handhelds on the Game Boy Advance, fun fact, this was the 4th selling best game on the Game Boy Advance.
Boy, that's sad.
It was also the best-selling non-Pokemon game on the Game Boy Advance.
Why does that not surprise me?
I was saying, that doesn't sound surprising.
I don't know. I personally really didn't care for this particular title. Then again, I didn't get to play this until I had my 3DS, and I got that whole collection of titles of Nintendo going, we're so sorry that you bought a 3DS with no games, so here's a bunch of games.
Oh, the Ambassador Program, yeah.
Yes.
Nintendo's apology.
Nintendo's apology. So this was my first experience with this game. So maybe I was spoiled by some of the other Mario Karts of the series later on, but this one really just didn't do anything for me. Although this was, and this kind of was kind of a realization. It says here, the second Mario Kart game to include coins. Mario Kart 64 did not have coins. I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah.
I think it was just a simple redo. Like, you just could redo the level in 64 and didn't have, like, restarting over from the very beginning of the circuit.
And this was the first to include retro courses.
Yes, which was partially... I didn't know at the time, but after... you unlocked the Super Nintendo tracks.
With the new mechanics. I don't think they did it in the next game. In fact, I'm fairly certain they didn't. But, excuse me. But it started to become a staple afterwards of just going, you know what? Old course, new style, here you go.
Yeah, but when you finish the tracks and the cups that are unique to Super Circuit, and you unlock basically Super Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I was so happy. I was like, oh, because it was like getting two games in one.
Yeah, pretty much. At the time.
And this coming 9 years after the original Mario Kart, when, by this point, Super Nintendo was long gone.
Yeah, probably for people, playing at the time for the Game Boy Advance, that would probably be their first exposure to the Super Nintendo Mario Kart style.
And I mean, other than that, that was for me the biggest claim was unlocking the Super Nintendo tracks. I loved this game so much. I think this was the reason why I went out and bought like one of those little attachable lights because again, Nintendo hadn't figured out how to do a lit back screen yet. So,
Yeah.
But having played Mario Kart 64, the presentation of the game felt familiar because they sort of kept the HUD, what you'd see on screen for Mario Kart 64. They kept that. There was something else I wanted to say for that, but I completely forgot. Oh! Something else that we neglected to mention with Mario Kart 64 and this one. The time trial mode, the introduction of the time trial. And I think on the Mario Kart 64 and this one, I think you could save your ghosts for your best time.
I think that was... Yeah, I remember seeing this before, and I think that stays for the rest of the series.
It does.
Just being able to,
Yes.
to race versus your ghost and just be like, who is this fucking... Oh, wait, that's me, right.
Right, Dan. Oh, who's this?
Did they eventually, I don't think it was this one, but eventually they had, like, developer ghost times. I forgot when they started to include that.
Later on. Absolutely later
Jesus.
on. Yeah.
That sounds pretty difficult, just trying to be the developer time.
No, it can be done. I've done that quite a bit in the most recent one.
I mean, I know it's doable. It's just like, wait, this guy made the game. He probably knows all the tricks and drifting and shit like that. You would think that, but usually it ends up being that the developers are not as good at their own games as you think they are.
Yeah.
Or maybe they were just doing that to give you hope. I don't know. But,
I mean, it's usually one of the two.
But, Nick, you said, you didn't play this until later, and this game, worldwide, this game sold almost 6 million copies. So...
That's a pretty heavy number for a Game Boy Advance title.
Yeah, again, this was the best non-Pokemon seller for the system.
There wasn't... I mean, I have fond memories of the Game Boy Advance, but I don't remember there being a bunch of games, like new games. I remember there being a ton of ports near the end of the life cycle of it.
Yeah.
But I don't remember there being a bunch of new games for it.
It's always have fun nostalgia for Golden Sun. But anyway, moving right along here. The last game that we will talk about for this first half, Mario Kart Double Dash.
This was when I got back into the Mario Kart series.
Coming out for the GameCube worldwide in November of 2003. In which they introduced the tag team mechanic.
One person drives, one person throws shit at everyone else.
And then we switch places and go, oh shit.
Yeah. And then sometimes you don't even know you're switching places until you actually hit the wrong button.
Well, switching manually, it required people to, hit Z at the exact same time, but you automatically switched after you used your item if both characters were holding an item.
Mm-hmm.
So if I used my item, let's say Brian and I were driving together, which I think we did once or twice during college. If I laid down, an item, Brian's driving, and all of a sudden it's like, all of a sudden he's dropping his item because he doesn't realize, oh shit, we switched places. it got a little maddening at times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This was actually, this was the version of Mario Kart that I actually like the least.
Oh, really?
Because of the double dash mechanic, or because of something else in the game?
I thought the tag team mechanic was cute, but I just for some reason just never really got into it. It just I mean, I wasn't really fond of that mechanic, and I didn't think it was necessary, but and apparently neither did Nintendo, because it's the only Mario Kart that has this tag team mechanic, and they dropped it.
This was the first that included each character having a signature item, which I thought was really neat. That I don't think was ever revisited since, which was kind of a shame. Although it made some characters extremely overpowered, so I sort of understand. It made characters like Yoshi, Birdo, and the Mario Brothers kind of not that good, where it made the Bowsers and the Donkey Kong characters extremely overpowered.
Yeah, I seem to remember that.
This was also the first to include LAN play, although I never did it, but apparently you could have 8 GameCube consoles to connect and allow 16-player races.
I would like to know if anyone out there actually did this, because I'm sure there are many of us who are going, wait a minute, GameCube had a broadband adapter?
Yeah,
it did.
I know it did, and I still forget that sometimes. It's just like, oh wait, this thing could get online, because somehow they were trying to figure out how the internet worked way back in 2001, and are just now figuring out how it actually works.
I mean, Nintendo has always been interested in kind of that online play. I mean, they've been playing around with it since the early 90s. But this was, another attempt. There weren't many games that supported LAN play, mostly because Nintendo really didn't advertise it. But I would love to see how nuts could a 16-player Double Dash go.
Have you seen Halo tournaments?
The screaming and the ruined friendships.
Have you seen friends play Halo? It would be like that, only probably 3 times worse at least.
Oh my god! Just every word is an expletive. It's
either a conjunction or an expletive. There is no in between.
Yes. It's just I wonder if there's anything on YouTube, if somebody actually hooked up a bunch of GameCubes and just went to town on that.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's a YouTube on it. Fairly certain.
I would not be surprised if you see them at video game centric conventions, having there be if there's enough GameCubes there that aren't just for Smash players, that there would be ones for the Double Dash LAN.
This was also the first to actually, at the end, while it did have mirror mode, but there was also an all cup, which is the 32 race marathon.
Yeah, that sounds difficult.
That sounds like a ton of fun, actually. I think maybe the reason why I didn't, I wasn't too thrilled with Double Dash is because I never actually had the experience of playing with a second player.
Even without a second player, I enjoyed the series. I understand why people regard this as a weak entry in the series, and I get it. Looking back, I don't think if I played it again, it would not have aged well. But I personally enjoyed playing it. The mixing and matching of characters, playing around with the different special abilities. For what it was worth, it was a fine title in the series. And now that we're getting the double mechanics back, and just a little over a month away, it'll be interesting to see, was it the double item mechanic that was bad, or was it the 2-player mechanic? It'll be an interesting revisit.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, I still have the game, so I mean, I may unearth it and revisit it. And maybe my opinion has changed on it in the last 15 years, but we'll see. Because, actually, that 32 Cup Marathon sounds like a ton of fun.
Actually, it was 16. So, because they did not do the retro tracks. But it was a 16 race marathon. It always started with Luigi Circuit, always ended with Rainbow Road, but everything else in between was jumbled up.
That sounds like a lot of fun. That
sounds like something that someone would speed run. I wonder if this is a speed run category for the for that community, because that sounds like a really good way to keep people interested in your game. Like, here's this 16 race thing you have to do from start to finish, and you try and like you know one of the 16 tracks. You don't know any of the shit in between, though.
Also, this also has my single favorite course in all of Mario Kart, just because of how freaking chaotic it gets. Baby Park is so simple and so straightforward because it's just a straight up oval, but it's 7 laps and all the items just stay on the course. So everyone's just throwing items. Everything is going everywhere. It is pure, utter chaos. And that's just what makes it so much fun.
I remember that. But yeah, I might revisit this game because maybe I just, at age, 15, 16, maybe I was just...
2003, Brian, you and I were in college.
I'm thinking 2001. I'm thinking about the previous game. Yes, 2003. We just started college. That was month number 3.
Yeah, you got it not too long after it came out.
Yeah,
we had nights playing this when we didn't feel like beating the shit out of each other in Smash.
I do remember those, but
yeah. So instead of beating the shit out of each other in Smash, we beat the shit out of each other on a racetrack.
Yeah, potato.
I was going to say your relationship is very interesting.
Yeah, here's the thing, Ron. I mean, Nick and I in college together, many an evening we would spend, just declaring our undying hate for each other over Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, Malf, or WarioWare. So it was pick your poison. So
I understand.
Malf was kind of one-sided though.
Oh no, I understand, because I did that with my friends in for Tony Hawk.
Oh, Tony Hawk!
Just want to let you know, Nick, that the Wyatt Putt joke is still lives on. So
good. I'm glad something hadn't gone away.
No, for my friends, it was either Tony Hawk, or if we could hook up. We had people that brought their Super Nintendo with them because they thought, hey, if I lose Super Nintendo at college, they fucking look. They would hook up the original Mario Kart, and we would play the original Mario Kart on a plasma screen TV that was in the common room. So you did Rainbow Road on a 55-inch plasma. Tell me how that is.
Well, I'm just going to hook this up to a movie theater projection screen and...
The pixels were the size of some people's, pinkies.
You can count the pixels!
Literally, we could.
You could. Absolutely. So, that is going to wind down our first half. So, on our second half, we will go to the next 4 games in this franchise. Yeah, only 8 games, 25 years, so...
Racing forward to the 2017.
Yeah, getting closer and closer here. So, with that, you'll have some music. We'll beat the crap out of each other with blue shells. You are listening to the 25th anniversary of Mario Kart episode right here on Downloadable Content. We'll be back. Welcome back to Downloadable Content, talking about 25 years of Mario Kart. We're still here. We survived all the Rainbow Roads. Every single one of them.
And all their redone animations.
Every single one of them. They're all unique in their own way. We dive back in. We've talked about the first 4 Mario Kart games. You'll have the second 4 on this half. So back to it with another one for the handheld. Mario Kart DS. Coming out in 2005. It actually was released in the USA first. Japan got it last.
That's different. And a lot later.
Actually, Korea got it last 2 years later, but in any event, this was the first. You only get one Mario Kart per system. Sounds like you get multiple ones in the same system, but I really, really liked how they worked the dual screen for this.
Yes.
Because you had the top down, you could see just how far people were behind you.
What items they held, the mini-map of the track, which kind of helped, but not really.
And there were also some modes in this that I particularly enjoyed, but I thought one I vaguely remember was Mission Mode.
Yep, this was the first to hold a mission mode. This was the first to have online play.
Everyone likes to play on Delfino Island.
Yeah, for reasons that escape me, but I don't know, maybe they were having a sunshine kick.
I have no idea, but that was for me the biggest claim to fame was for Mario Kart DS. This was the first one that made use of online multiplayer with the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection, which has since been discontinued.
Yep, so no more online racing there. And this was the first to really, have the retro tracks as a staple of the series.
Yeah, no longer just, as unlockables. They were actually now included as either part of certain cups or, cups themselves.
Yeah, they were cups themselves. So now there was, not only with your Mushroom Flower Star Special, now there was Shell, Banana, Leaf, and Lightning.
Yep, which expanded the replayability. And we have now, I know that some of the other modes of play, there was in the battle mode, they had the standard battle mode with the balloons, but wasn't there one that involved shine sprites?
Yeah, Shine Runners.
Shine Runners, okay.
So, Shine Runners, you basically collected shine sprites, and if you attacked people, you would lose the shine sprites, and you'd be able to collect them. Whichever team had the most won the match.
Ah. All right. Because
oh no! Excuse me, I'm totally wrong on that. There was a timer. The person with the fewest shine sprites was eliminated from the game. Last player standing wins.
Oh yes. Okay. Now I remember. I still have it. Mario Kart DS. Don't really play the battle modes. But I loved the online multiplayer. I actually one of the few games that I spent a considerable amount of time playing the online multiplayer. However, this was one of the first that I ever played with an online component, it made me realize very, very quickly that there were flaws.
Yep.
Because unlike Mario Kart Wii, which we'll get to, Mario Kart DS kept track of wins and losses.
Nintendo's first mistake, as we call it.
Because you kept track of wins and losses, you could... the the number of countless numbers of times when people would simultaneously disconnect before the end of a race just to avoid having a loss on their record and a win on yours.
Which is so stupid.
Well, it absolutely is. I mean, it's stupid even now, but, you know, keeping in mind that this was Nintendo's first actual attempt at online multiplayer, you know, baby steps, you have to remember.
Yeah, and there were a lot of hidden mechanics that, you know, offered like unlimited speed boosting, so there were plenty of cheaters, but there was no way Nintendo could combat it. It was a thing.
I mean, ultimately, it's why I eventually stopped playing online, because for some reason, everyone wanted to play on Delfino Island. I think because there was a shortcut, like a real good shortcut in that level.
I wouldn't know. I always kept whipping people in any track, in any condition, so I never really had that problem.
Well, it just might have been a server thing. I don't know. But I remember very much the eventual frustration I got just from, you know, you're a second or two away from winning, and then everybody disconnected. Because they didn't want the loss. So eventually I gave up and stopped with the online multiplayer until Mario Kart Wii came along. Now, was this the first of the Mario Kart games that had the Squid Ink power-up, or was Double Dash the first?
Ooh... I don't know. I know this was one that I believe this may have been the first.
Okay.
I'm kind of going on a limb here. I could be wrong, but I do remember that the squid was kind of a thing in the DS one. And I remember it quite distinctly. I also remember not really caring if he inked my screen or not.
Well, yeah.
But that's besides the point.
But, you know, it was very critically acclaimed. It was the third best-selling game for the DS at almost 24 million units.
Yeah, this was an extremely popular DS title. Even with the number of gems that the DS had, this was among the best, just from name brand recognition and just from how good this game was.
And you know, and definitely the online help, because finally, you know, yeah, playing Mario Kart with your friends is absolutely fun and still fun to this day, but now you can go online and play against anyone on the planet.
They also had a whole bunch of carts that you could drive, and, you know, multiple carts to drive, which each had their advantages and disadvantages, which helped out quite a bit too.
Your customization here was Nintendo was really starting to realize that, hey, we don't have to keep our characters in one standard form of cart.
Yeah.
Which was really, really nice. Really? Nintendogs was number 2 on that list?
That doesn't surprise me.
No, that's pretty damn surprising.
No. And New Super Mario DS was number 1, but that's no surprise. Anyway, moving right along here.
Before Brian has an aneurysm.
Before I have an aneurysm. The next one is Mario Kart Wii. 3 years later, came out worldwide in April 2008. And outside of Double Dash, this was, I think, the first one to expand the roster beyond the 8 characters or teams. You had 24 total playable characters in Mario Kart Wii, so going from 8 to 24... Whoa!
I thought
No,
they
I think
added...
the DS had some extra characters.
I thought they stuck to the original 8, but I will have a look.
I think you could unlock like King Boo and maybe Wario and a couple others. Maybe Baby Bowser.
And keep in mind, there were 16 and no, there were more than that in Double Dash because you had the 2-player kart system.
Right, like I said, it was you had the you had into. But let me look. I could be dead wrong. I'm known to do that from time to time. 4 unlockables.
Okay, good. I wasn't crazy.
Okay, no, you're not.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of crazy, just not completely crazy.
Okay, so you have your 8. So yeah, Mario Kart DS. You had your 8 classics. You had your standard. Well, Wario wasn't. Oh, yes, he was. Good God, I'm losing it. I'm losing it. Anyway, but
Mario Kart, the episode where we all just lose our goddamn minds.
But the unlockables were Daisy, Drybones, Waluigi, and Rob.
Right, Rob was a driver in that because of his popularity in Smash.
Yes.
Oh, I totally forgot that.
Yeah. And suddenly you sound like Seinfeld for a second. No, I totally forgot that! Anyway. So, but the roster was expanded to 24 in Mario Kart Wii. I think there were characters from Super Mario Galaxy. I think Rosalina was a playable character.
Yes.
I think you could also use your own Mii.
Maybe I never really used that option.
And how many of us use the Wii Wheel?
I did a couple times.
I don't think I did ever.
It actually, I mean, I used it almost exclusively. It actually felt pretty nice. You know, I was...
It was pretty responsive.
I was so hesitant to use it at first because I thought this was going to be every other racing game I ever played that used a wheel in which, you know, a slight turn and you do a 360. Like, you just turn the wheel, like, 5 degrees to the right or left, and suddenly you're in another plane of existence. I thought it was going to be that level of sensitivity, but actually I was very pleasantly surprised. It was actually pretty responsive. I think this was also the first Mario Kart to introduce motorbikes.
Yes, it was.
Which now we're expanding. It's like, oh, we're no longer on carts. You could do things like wheelies if you wanted to be an asshole.
It did increase your speed, though.
Yes, it did. It most certainly did.
And that's why it was far and away, when you played online, what most everyone drove. Even though karts had the extra level of turbo boost when you corner, it just didn't. It couldn't stand up to the speed boost you got on straightaways performing wheelies.
Yes, and just like Mario Kart DS, Mario Kart DS was as you mentioned, Nick, was the first one to basically split its courses. You had 16 courses unique to that game and 16 retro tracks. So it was always just it was always wondering, okay, which retro tracks are going to be in this one?
Although, I think the Wii one also has some pretty good original tracks, if I recall, like Wario's Gold Mine.
Yep.
With that banjo. Just that fingers on fire banjo. Sounds like something out of Deliverance.
Soundtrack written by Charlie Daniels Band. But again, Nintendo realized with their online, again, discontinued. You can't play online with Mario Kart Wii anymore, which actually makes me really sad, and that would lead into a whole nother rant about preserving video games and, being angry at developers who just decide to pull the plug to force you to play the next installment in their franchise, but that's a whole nother episode. I liked the way that they did the online play here. Instead of wins and losses, it was point-based.
Yes, Nintendo finally got it right when it came to their scoring system. Was Mario Kart Wii the first one to have bullet bills? Or as I call them, bullshit bills?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I think that's why I eventually stopped playing Mario Kart Wii online, because of how many times I got fucked over by blue shells, lightning bolts, and bullshit bills, just completely annihilating me anytime I even kissed first place.
Yeah, this, Mario Kart Double Dash is I wasn't a big fan of it initially, but this game, up until this point, blue shells, lightnings, okay, they were part of the series, but, you would occasionally get hit with them if you were in first place and really good. Mario Kart Wii really made being in first place a fucking crime.
POW blocks, I think those were new in Mario Kart Wii. Yeah.
And just many times I would get frustrated because you would get hit with multiple blue shells per lap.
Hang on. Now I have to find this.
If you were in first place in Mario Kart Wii on any level, really, you could just count within the seconds until you got blue shelled, lightninged, POW blocked, or bullet billed. Sometimes more than one of those at the same time. And what often happened that would be the most frustrating is that you would be blue shelled and lightninged at the same time.
No, I found it here. Yeah, this is on Mario Kart Wii. I'm going to drop the link here for you. I don't know if you want to use it or not, but I mean, this was basically like this would be sort of my luck when it comes to playing this game, of just getting hit with everything.
Yeah,
I've seen this. Oh.
Yeah, it's just my luck in a nutshell.
Starts in first, but then ends in
last.
7th or last.
Goes from first to 12.
Oh jeez, I couldn't remember what it was. I knew it was bad. I didn't remember it was that bad.
Yeah, in Mario Kart we expanded it again. You're no longer first through 8th. It's now first through 12th. But this game was really, really a struggle, as if you were playing this on single player, trying to unlock everything, because the spike, like, alright, fine, in past Mario Kart games, you get hit with a blue shell, once or twice, maybe 3 times during the course of the level. Alright, maybe you get a lightning bolt once or twice, fine. But Mario Kart Wii was just relentless in that if you were in first, you could not stay in first for really any more than maybe 20 seconds, because you would just get blue shell,
blasted,
lightning.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And this was the first game in which being in midair didn't help you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
This, in all other Mario Kart games prior to this, if you were in midair with a blue shell or lightning bolt in play, it didn't affect you. Because, you're in fucking midair.
Yeah.
But not anymore. So you could be driving over a lava pit, for example, and get blue shelled. So you get hit with that, and then you go right down into the lava.
Mm-hmm.
Or and it's happened to me a few times, blue shell, lightning, lava.
Yeah.
Like, the biggest complaint for me about Mario Kart Wii was that no longer could you win really a level by skill. It was much more luck based.
It almost went full Mario Party on that one, where I don't care how good you were, it's just, if you, for me that's why I like the point system. If I at least got like a top half finish, at least it wasn't a total loss.
Right. And also, Nintendo figured out that, yeah, all right, go ahead and disconnect if you don't want. All right, fine, but your character is still going to take a hit in points.
Yeah.
So, I could see why. I mean, yeah, like I wasn't the only one who felt that way. I mean, a lot of Mario Kart veterans who played Mario Kart Wii, yeah, I mean, it was still fun, but you could not rely on skill anymore to win a Mario Kart race, because it was really just, okay, who happened to be in first at the time you finished the race, because it was like, it was literally anyone's game, and I think maybe that's what Nintendo was trying to go for.
Probably, but the execution was vastly fucked up.
It's just it was a slog to try to get through that, because you just pray that you're far enough ahead where you could survive getting hit with simultaneous blue shells.
Yeah.
So moving right along to the next game on our list, the next one on the handhelds, Mario Kart 7 for the 3DS.
Actually, the only one in this entire Mario Kart series I didn't play.
I forgot I actually owned this game. I was doing some I was doing some cleaning a few days ago, and I happened upon an unopened Mario Kart 7. I went, holy shit!
Brian, how many games do you still have wrapped in cellophane? Be fair, does it really surprise you that much?
I only have a few games that are still in their shrink wrap unopened, and apparently this was one of them. So a few days ago, I'm like, oh shit! I'm doing a Mario Kart episode in a few days. Let me play some of this.
Yeah.
It's like, oopsie.
Oh wow, you could play with a gyroscope in this? God, that would suck.
So, because until this point, Mario Kart 7 was the only one that I had never played. Not no more. So my feeling right now on this, I haven't unlocked everything yet, but you can definitely see where they pick up from the Wii version with the customization of the different carts, the different builds.
Now gliders.
Now there's gliders, yes.
So now we've taken to the air.
We have. And we have the return of coins.
Coins were coins in DS? I thought coins were in DS, but I could be wrong.
Well, I don't know if this is true for all of the Mario Kart games with coins, but in this version, coins give you a speed boost. But you can only carry up to 10 coins max, which I thought was a bit silly. Like, oh come on, why can't I have a small bank? But that's actually how you unlock things in Mario Kart 7. Because, yeah, you can only collect up to a max of 10 coins per race, but the game is keeping track of the total number of coins you've collected. Because when you get to a certain level, you unlock a different thing. And just the customization is pretty cool, because the statistics for your vehicle will change depending on the build, the body of the vehicle, the wheels that you use.
Yep.
The gliders, which luckily are they automatically pop out and retract, so you don't have to pay attention to that.
And then the weight of the character, I think, also had some fixed stats. If 7's anything like 8.
Yep. And for the first time, you can, was it the first time you can actually drive underwater?
Yes. All vehicles were now submersible.
Yeah.
So no longer do you touch water, the key is gotta be like, I'm on my way!
Yeah, this is the gravity wheels and the hover wheels and the submersible wheels.
So, meanwhile, Sonic's going, really? You driving underwater? I'm underwater for 20 seconds and I'm dead. You can actually drive,
I mean, look at any Mario game. He could just sit there underwater, just kind of look at his wristwatch like, I really should get moving here. A few more minutes.
But, yeah, for the first time, bodies of water are not necessarily out of bounds. So and I saw that in one of the cups. I was just like, oh, how is this game gonna pull off the water? Oh, you've got you've got a rudder here. How cute. But still keeping the same sort of formula for your cups. So 16 unique tracks, 16 retro.
Yep, they had a couple from the Wii Sports titles, couple tracks, which I don't know. I don't really care for the Wii Sports anything, so that would have done anything for me.
I've not yet played the online multiplayer, which since we no longer have the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection, you can now do this over the Nintendo network. And I believe that you could also use Street Pass.
Yes, or Spot Pass.
Yep. So, I'll have to get back to you to give you my thoughts on the online multiplayer, because I'm sure I'll have words.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I will definitely have words about that. But I thought it was nice, some of the nice additions, because I haven't played too much of it. I haven't really sampled most of the power-ups yet, because I've kind of been staying sort of in, like, first or second for most of these races. So I've never really sampled the items that you get for being in last.
Oh, though you haven't had a Lucky 7 yet?
No, but I know what that does. Here, have 7 items.
And be careful, because players can steal those.
And I thought the introduction of the tail was cool. The raccoon tail from Super Mario Bros. 3.
Alright, so what did that do?
When you activate it, it lasts for about maybe 10 seconds or so, but you can the tail whips around the entire cart, so if there's a projectile coming at you, you can bat it away.
Okay, so a good defensive tool.
Yes. Yeah, it's not offensive at all. It's completely and utterly defensive. So if you're looking at the bottom screen and you see that a red shell is coming at you, if you time your button press right while you have the tail active, you can just bat it away. Also, one of the new power-ups is the Fire Flower.
Yes, they made it very similar to Mario and Luigi's special in Double Dash, except you could just spam the button to just throw fireballs.
Yep. For a good 10 seconds or so, you could just have that itchy trigger finger going and hope you sit.
No, I think it's actually a number of fireballs. I don't think it's time driven. I think it's number of fireballs.
Okay. But in any event, it's kind of gratifying to ignite players, but just a little.
If you can't tell, Fire Flower returned in Mario Kart 8.
Well, Mario Kart 8 I haven't gotten to, because not owning a Wii U. I've played a little bit of Mario Kart 8, and we'll move right along there now as the final game in our retrospective here, which came out almost 3 years ago. I played this a little bit at Wyatt's. Wyatt was having one of his parties, and I was introduced to this, and I like it enough that I'm really, really glad the Switch is getting a version of this.
Well, this was hands down the most popular Wii U title of them all. So the fact that they want more people to be exposed to Mario Kart 8 is, along with a couple of extra additions in the deluxe edition, this was one of my favorites that they basically blatantly ripped a page out of F-Zero's book to go, oh yeah, anti-gravity segments, and Captain Falcon just, judges from a distance.
It's like, all right. Yeah. You left F-Zero in the dust, but you're going, all right, yeah, fuck you too.
And they finally, for the first time, they gave us an anti-blue shell option with the Super Horn.
Okay, that's new to me.
Okay, so this is an item you get if you're kind of close to the lead. And what this does is, if a blue shell is coming hurtling towards you, you hit the Super Horn, blue shell destroyed.
I'm so happy to hear that.
So this is...
Fuck you, socialism!
So this was finally like a method to kind of hang on to your lead. They gave a few more defensive tools. The Piranha Plant, I don't know if that's new, but that gave you an option to go, oh, look, there's a blooper in front of me. Not anymore.
It's gone. Yeah, so up until a few days ago, Mario Kart 7 was the one I had played the least. But now it's this one. So I'm really looking forward to getting it on the Switch. And
what you're going to like out of the Switch version was the battle mode options were for the 8 probably are no, without question, the worst of the bunch. There was no creativity. There was nothing. They basically took the courses, just lifted them straight out, and then just added balloons and just said, have at it. It really was not fun at all.
Alrighty.
So now that we're getting, actual battle arenas and battle modes, and now they're adding some extra stuff for from Splatoon, and oh yeah, Bowser Jr. Whoa.
It looks like from what I'm reading here, because the Switch version is going to include the DLC.
Yes, all of the DLCs, so you're getting both F-Zero tracks, the Legend of Zelda track, the
There's a Hyrule circuit!
Yes, there is. And Link is a playable character, although Link's not very good.
Yes!
But the Hyrule one is quite fun.
Oh, and this is also the first one to have, obviously, amiibo support.
Yep.
And, because we're in this era now, DLC, as we've mentioned. Also, I cannot let this episode end with neglecting to talk about this game that spawned 1,000 Luigi Death Glare memes.
Yes. To the point that Nintendo made their own joke on the Luigi Death Stare.
Yeah,
you would not know this.
What was it? One of the press conferences? Then Reggie death stares down. Who's he stare down? God damn it! I forget who he stares down.
Miyamoto, Iwata, I don't know.
Bill, I don't know.
But I saw that meme, and I'm like, okay, this game is worth the $60 for that alone.
It became such a firestorm that in one of the Paper Mario games, the most recent one, Nintendo ribbed their own joke of just saying, "Oh, that's okay. If anyone approaches you, Luigi, just scare them away with that stare you were giving us earlier."
Good. It's just,
leave it to Nintendo to not miss an internet meme joke.
I'm so looking forward to this. Also, what's this about uploading your highlights to YouTube?
Yes. I believe this is going to be for the Switch, but in the Wii U version, there was like a MKTV, which allowed you to favorite and upload to the internet some of your favorite memorable races and moments. But it was kind of like a fixed clip segment, so it really wasn't that awesome, because sometimes the game will just pass right over the funny and hilarious moments that you get out of some races. But with the Switch version, I know they're eventually going to have video capture. I know they have screen capture already, but I know they're working on video capture, and I'm hoping that can be integrated with MKTV to help view replay data and show some of your favorite hysterical, maddening moments out of Mario Kart 8.
And that's, I mean, you talk about the Mario Kart TV. I mean, that was something that was instituted with the Wii. You had that Mario Kart channel, which at first was just basically a place for news and tournament information, and then now it's expanded to include all this extra stuff, and watching races in progress. I'm liking what this is doing, and I can't wait for this to come out in April, and I will just get cracking on it. And also I'm looking forward to tackling the 200cc.
200cc is nuts. 200cc is basically you really get used to hitting that brake button, because you will be needing to use it.
So what you're telling me is that Mario Kart has gone into the realm of Gran Turismo for the 200cc.
Yeah, that's a pretty good comparison, actually.
All right, time to use the other racers as meat shields, bounce off of them as I turn a corner.
No, you can't do that in the anti-gravity segments. You do that, you gain a speed boost. And that can be bad. Yes, you cannot, in the anti-gravity segments only, you can't just, use carts as, collision detectors, because you'll collide with them, just harmlessly bounce, pinball off each other, and you both gain speed boosts. And that has been some of my deaths.
I mean, I think what I'm getting here with Mario Kart 8 with Ron and Nick, I'm getting the sense that it was like once Mario Kart made the jump to HD, suddenly they're like, because I feel like Mario Kart 8 specifically, like we've seen in the previous 7 games, sort of incremental upgrades, incremental new things. Then we get to an HD-capable system, and they just threw so much. It feels like a between Mario Kart Wii and this, like the upgrade is massive. At least that's what I'm getting.
I don't know. Well, I'm not sure I go that far. I feel like it is incremental upgrades, and I think a lot of it is just taking pages out of F-Zero's book, but that's just me. But I think this is, with Mario Kart 8 and now with Deluxe coming out in, just a month away, well, month and 2 days, but I really just feel like this is the most complete Mario Kart has ever been, to just have many different ways of how you want to play the game, kart options, character options, battle mode, racing. Even nowadays, I could just, some days if I'm just totally bored, just pop back on Mario Kart 8, do some online racing. And, I see all these people with 5-digit ratings, and I'm still, keeping up with them and winning some races, and I just have way too much fun with it. I'm looking forward to the deluxe version.
At first, I didn't actually believe you when you said that Mario Kart 8 was the best-selling Wii U game, because I thought that would have easily been overtaken by Smash, but no, you are right. Mario Kart 8 is the best-selling Wii U game by a considerable margin.
Yes.
Like, Mario Kart 8 has sold 8.26 million. Second place is New Super Mario Bros. U at 5.62. Like, and Smash is fifth on that list. So,
yeah.
Like, wow. I would have thought Smash would have been it, but no, Mario Kart 8 is, whew.
Yeah, it's an extremely popular title of just how, like I said, I think is probably the most complete Mario Kart.
So, winding down now, so we've had 8 games in this franchise over 25 years. There's also 3 arcade consoles, which we didn't discuss because I don't know how many of us have actually played them, but they are a thing.
Are they even in the United States? I'm not sure.
They are. I've played them, but
oh, okay.
And it's basically just a Grand Prix. It's Mario Kart Arcade Grand Prix, and there's either 1, 2, and 3. So going forward now, since now Mario Kart 8 is getting an enhanced remake for the Switch, that pretty much says that we're not going to see a Mario Kart 9 for the Switch. So where does Nintendo go at this point? Because since they've been holding their pattern of 1 Mario Kart per console.
I think they're just going to do like downloadable like DLC content for it. Basically, I don't see them doing many a numbered entry into the series for at least a few years, just because I think they're gonna try and sweep the Wii U under the rug and just be like, we didn't have anything between the Wii and the Switch. What are you talking about? Like, no, we didn't add a letter in there. What are you talking about? You're crazy. Just port over as many things.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah, just port over everything they can from the Wii U to the Switch, and I feel like that they're going to be spending a lot of time doing said porting and not like working on developing new games. They're going to be trying to rely on their work with third-party people to keep the system afloat while they're busy porting things over, like Smash and probably Xenoblade Chronicles X, and whatever the heck that is, the JRPG from the Wii U.
I mean, the only thing I could, if in terms of new Mario Kart games, the only one I could see Nintendo doing, if they were going to do a Mario Kart 9, it would be on the new Nintendo 3DS. But at this point, I think you're probably right, because they've only been putting out 1 Mario Kart game per console since the Super Nintendo. So this might be what we have for a while.
I tend to disagree. I think we will eventually, maybe, 3-4 years down the road, I think we will get a Mario Kart 9. I think the Deluxe was made for 2 reasons. One was just the total negative reception we got in the battle mode options, and Nintendo wanted a chance to do that right. But secondly, I think this was kind of their way of giving some extra support to the Switch and kind of help boost some sales, which I think is going to work along with Zelda. Between the two, I think that's just going to give us quite a library for quite some time. Between that and Splatoon 2, which is coming out in the summer, I think it's just going to be more good content, more good online content for the months and years to come, until Nintendo comes up with their next bold, crazy idea with Mario Kart 9. I have no idea what to expect, because even the anti-gravity is like, wow, wait, what, really? And it works so well with the frantic pace of Mario Kart. I'm looking forward to what crazy idea Nintendo will come up with next.
Something I would like to see Nintendo do, this is wish list thinking on my part, is I want them to go back to the original and not necessarily bring it up to date with, not necessarily give it an HD complete shiny, although that might be nice, while keeping the original power-ups, but bring that forward and give that, the ability for online play. Because I still have a very, very, good soft spot for the original and Mario Kart 64. Bring them up to current graphical standards and have fun. But that's just me. So that's complete wish list speculation. So do you guys have any more final thoughts on this, or are we good?
Well, I think I'm alright here.
Let's cross the finish line, shall we?
Says Ron with his minefield of shells and banana peels. So, if you have any experiences with Mario Kart you'd like to share with us, or if you have any questions, comments on this episode or any other episode of downloadable content, you can let us know on our website, dlcpodcast.com. Use the feedback button, send us a line, or you can comment on our Facebook and Twitter pages. And you can listen to every single episode on our website as well. Get the links also on iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, and Google Play Music. It's all there for you, so have at it. So, all it remains for me to do is to thank Ron and Nick for being on this episode with me. So, happy 25th anniversary to Mario Kart. And on that, I am Brian, and have a good one, everybody!